Hello everyone. Today we're learning about becoming Daf Pei. So we discussed in the Mishnah Issa to grow small animals like sheep and goats in Eretz Yisrael. And we said that 30 days before the market day, you're allowed to bring and keep it until the market day and then sell it, or the shoichet or private person before the Chag also have 30 days. Said the Gemara Daf Pei, second line. Shalu Talmidov es Rav Gamliel. The Talmidim of Gamliel asked him, "Ma'u legadel? Are you allowed to grow?" So it's not clear what, how, when. Amalei Muti, he said, it's allowed. So the Gemara asked, "Vatnan ein megadlim." Obviously, we're talking about growing animals in Eretz Yisrael, that sheep and goats. And in our Mishnah it says you're not allowed. So how does that make sense? Why is he arguing with the Mishnah? So the Gemara, this is what they ask him. Are you allowed to keep it after you sell it? You're allowed to keep it. If you didn't sell it, you're allowed to keep it longer. But you're not allowed to let it go out and go with other animals, because then it's going to eat gezel. He ties it to the legs of his bed. He keeps it in the house, and then he won't go out and steal from other people's property. And Rabbanon arguing that, and they say even that's not allowed. You're not allowed to keep it whatsoever. Says the Gemara, Ton Rabbanon learned, once upon a time there was a chassid, he had pain, heart pain. And they asked the doctors, and the doctor said, you have no healing, only if you drink hot milk every morning. So they brought him a goat, and they tied it to the legs of the bed. He had hot milk every morning. After some time, his friends came to visit him. Since they saw that goat tied to the legs of the bed, they went back and didn't visit him. They said, he has a robber in his house, this goat that's a robber in its essence, they eat from anyone's property, and we're going to visit him. They checked. They sat and checked. All they found wrong with this person, with this tzaddik, that he had this goat in his house. But otherwise he had no averus. And he also, when he was dying, I know the only oven I have, the only wrong thing I've done is about this goat. That I went against what my friend said, that you're not allowed to have goats in Eretz Yisrael. Omar Rabbi Shmuel, says Rabbi Shmuel, my father's family come from the Balibatim in the higher Galilee. Why did they get destroyed? That they used to take the animals to gaze in the forests. The donim dine momenis biyochid, and the paskin choshin mishpat shayles biyochid and not b'shloisha. The afal pisha oyuloim chorshim, even though that they had forests close to the houses, somuch lebeseim, next to the houses, and we said that you're allowed to gaze your animals in the forests, even in Eretz Yisrael. The problem was that sodek tano isom avirim derech oleo. There was a small field between them in the Golil and the forest, and to get to the forest, every time they'd go past this small field, and the animals would sometimes obviously go into the small field, and when they'd pass to get to the forest, and they'd eat food that doesn't belong to them, and that's why they got destroyed, says Rabbi Shmuel. A shepherd who did tshuva and wants to know, he has a lot of sheep, a lot of goats, and he decides he wants to do tshuva. I don't want to continue this anymore. It's also in Eretz Yisrael. I'm not going to do this anymore. We don't force him to sell. miyad, straight away. Elo moiche al yad. He sells bit by bit, because if you have to sell all your sheep at once, you give it for a very low price. But masha enkin, if you sell it little by little, you can get a good value. So because he does tshuva, we don't want him to lose money and then maybe not do tshuva. So we help him and tell him he could sell it slowly. And someone who's a ger, someone who had Yerusha of dogs, the chazurim and pigs, in his Yerusha, in mechayim moiselim kumiyad. Elo moiche al yad. The same thing, a ger go Yerusha, sheep, dogs, pigs. Doesn't say actually sheep, but these animals are not allowed to keep, so you can sell it slowly by slowly. Someone made a neder, I'm going to buy a house in Eretz Yisrael, I'm going to marry a woman in Eretz Yisrael. We don't say he comes to Eretz Yisrael, the first woman is willing to marry him, he has to marry her. The first house that is offered, he has to buy. Until he finds the house that's good for him and suitable for him, and the same thing with a woman. There was a woman who her son caused a lot of trouble. The kofts of an ishba, she made a shvur, anyone who will come to offer me to get married, I'll say yes. The kofts, and then people who are not good people came and said, oh, I'll marry you, and she didn't want to marry them, obviously. She wanted someone decent. When the story came to Chachamim, they said, when this woman made this shvur, she only meant someone who's suitable for her. And these people are not suitable, so she doesn't have to marry them. Like you're not allowed to have small animals, also small sheep and goats, also small animals you're not allowed, and that's like foxes and deers. Rabbi Shmuel says, Megadlim klovim kufrin, you're allowed to have dogs, Chihuahua dogs, very small dogs you're allowed to have. That's one pshat in kufrin. The other pshat in kufrin are hunters that don't cause any damage. V'chatulim and cats, v'koifim and monkeys, v'chuldoi sanoi. We're going to see what that is. Because they help you clean the house from mice. They guard the house from mice, you're allowed to have these animals. My chuldoi sanoim. What are chuldoi sanoim? Omer of Yudah, shartza chartza. I'm going to see what shartza chartza is in a bit. And some people say charza, like a type of rat, iktini shokai, that has small legs, v'raya beni varidini, and it hangs out between the forms of like the sneh. Umay shirotzu, my shartza, what we said before, shartza chartza, my shartza dem tatoi shakoi. It means it has small legs. It's a type of animal that with small legs that hangs out by the sneh, and that's you allowed to have in your house. Omar Rav Yudah, Omar Rav. Rav Yudah, in the name of Rav, says, Asinu atzmeinu beBovel k'Eretz Yisrael leBeimadaka. We decided in Bovel, the Rabbanim decided that we have the same din like in Eretz Yisrael. Like in Eretz Yisrael, you're not allowed to have sheep and goats because they steal from other people's fields. So also in Bovel, we're noyeg king. Omar le Rav Ada bar Ava le Rav Huna. Rav Ada bar Ana asked Rav Huna, Tidoch mai, why do you have goats or sheep? Omar le Didon kom into le choiva. My wife choiva got them that they shouldn't eat from anyone without permission. Omar le, he said, choiva tikverinu le blo, she bury her son. Kulo shone de Rav Ada bar Ava, all the years that Rav Ada bar Ava was alive. Loik ikayim zara le Rav Huna mi choiva. Rav Huna didn't have children from choiva. Probably he was much older, and then it sounds like when he passed away, then he did have, because what he said that she'll bury her sons. Some people say that Rav Huna said in the same of Rav, he said, we did like what we said before, that Bovel is like Eretz Yisrael about Be'ema Daka, but here it adds on and it says, when did we do it? When Rav came to Bovel, that's when we started doing it, because lots of people lived here, and it was needed that takana, because otherwise the goats would be eating in everyone's fields. Rav and Shmuel Rav Asi. Rav and Shmuel and Rav Asi Klo, they got to Bei Shavua Ben. Rashi says a bris milah v'amrlo Bei Yeshua Ben, a pidin ben. Rav loy ayel kamei de Shmuel. So we have here three gdolim. One is Rav, one is Shmuel, and one is Rav Asi. Really, Rav was the greatest, and then Rav Asi was his Talmud, and Shmuel was lower. But as we're going to see, so really Rav should have the highest respect, and he should go in first. But Rav once cursed Shmuel because something that happened. So after that, he tried giving him extra covet because what happened that he had to curse him. So let's see what happened over here. Rav Shmuel Rav Asi ikle lebei Shavua Ben for bris v'amlo lebei Yeshua Ben for pidin. Rav loy al kamei de Shmuel. Rav didn't want to go in front of Shmuel. He wanted to give him the extra respect, as we said. Shmuel loy al kamei de Rav Asi. Shmuel didn't want to go in front of Rav Asi because Rav Asi was greater than him. Rav Asi loy al kamei de Rav. He was a Talmud of Rav, so no one was going inside. Amri man nirtach. They said, who should stay behind? Who should be last to come? And nirtach Shmuel, like, it makes sense. V'nesi Rav Rav Asi, and Rav and Rav Asi should go in first. So the Gemara says, why like? So they said no. Maybe v'nirtach Rav or Rav Asi. Maybe they should go in last. So the Gemara, Rav Milsa ba'alma udo avad le. Rav did something to Shmuel. Mishum au Maisa. Because of Maisa, the that he gave him a curse, Adbari Rav Olei. He wanted to give him specially extra covet. So they were stuck, they didn't know who should go in first. And they were standing outside, and Adeochi, meanwhile, Veochi, Osa Shunra, came a cat, Kotel Yodadi Nukan, bit off a hand of a baby. Nofak Rav Dorash, Rav went out and said, the drosha, Chotul, a cat, Mutal Orgo, you're allowed to kill it. Also, you're not allowed to keep them. And it's not stealing to take it from a person. If it's lost, you don't have to give the cat back to the owners. Said the Gemara, since Rab said, Mutal Orgo, you're allowed to kill it, mine knew too, also why do we need to say afterwards, you're not allowed to have in your house, you should kill it? Mutal Orgo, you're allowed to kill it. Isur Leka, there's no Issa to keep a cat in your house, Komash Malon, that there's even an Issa. Amri, the Bnei Yeshiva asked, V'kevan the Omris, Enbo Mishum Gezel, if you said already there's no Gezel in it, if you steal someone's cat, mind you to Enbo Mishum Moshe Aveda Bailim. Obviously you don't have to, if you could steal from the person, you don't have, for sure you don't have to give it back as a Shalas Aveda. Amar Ravina le'oirei. The Chiddush is that even the skin, if it's dead, and you don't have to give back even the skin, they could use it to make a bag or something out of it. No, it's not his. We have a kasha. Rab Shimon Elazar says, Megadlin klavim kufrim, chihuahuas, small dogs you're allowed to breed. V'chatulim, and cats, and we said here cats you're not allowed to. V'koifim, v'chuldo isnoi, v'fnish asulin akasabai. So cats forbidden or not forbidden? Loi kasha, it's not kasha, hoba huchma hoba chiyura. One is talking about black ones, and one is talking about chiyura, white ones. White cats are problematic. The black cats are not problematic. The story of Rav, where Rav went out and out because his cat ate a baby's hand, bit it off. There was a black cat. So, and he said black cats are no problem. So the Gemara Osam Ruchma Bar Chiyura was a black, the son of a white. So that's why it was also a dangerous cat. Ave was. Ravuna asked the Shaila, the boy Ravuna asked Uchma Bar Chiyura, a black one, the son of a white one now, do we kill it or not? And here we're saying that's where Rav says he killed it. It was a black one and the son of a white one. So the Gemara Kikim boy Ravuna Uchma Bar Chiyura Bar Uchma. A black one, the son of a white one, the son of a black one. Ma'aseh de Rav, the story of Rav was Be'uchma, a black one, Bar Chiyura, a son of a white one, Bar Chiyura, a son of a white one. So that's when it's for sure bad cat. And Ravina was mistapik when its father is, or mother is a white cat, and the grandmother is a black cat. Okay. Omar Rav Acha bar Papa. Said Rav Acha bar Papa, Mishum Rav Abba bar Papa, in the name of Rav Abba bar Papa, Mishum Rav Ada bar Papa, in the name of Ada bar Papa. 3 brothers of Rav Papa mentioned here. And some people say, V'amlu Rav Abba bar Papa, Mishum Rav Chia bar Papa, Mishum Rav Acha bar Papa. Different way of who said it. V'amulon, the third shittu who said it. Omar Rav Abba bar Papa, Mishum Rav Acha bar Papa, Mishum Rav Chanina bar Papa. But anyway, the sons of Rav Papa for sure were very strong in this mama, and they all said, Matrim ala chikuch b'Shabbos. You're allowed to go and announce, and with a shofar, and in the city to say that there's a skin disease. It's like a magefa. And someone whose success is locked up, not very easily it's going to open his success. And soon we're going to see what we're talking about. And therefore you need to do lots of tefillahs to manage to break open the gates. Someone who buys a house on Eretz Yisrael, koisim olav oino, you're allowed to write a contract on it, afilu b'Shabbos, because you're buying it from a goy, and it's a big mitzvah to be go from a goy, and you're allowed to michal Shabbos on it. Soon we're going to see that it's only a shvus you're allowed to do, but not literally write a contract and write yourself. We ask a shaila, other bad things that come to the public, kigoin, like chikuch, and that's what we had before. And you see here, we're going to see that you're not allowed to michal Shabbos. Chagov, locusts, vuv, flies, tzira, it's a type of bee, viatush, and mosquitoes, vishiluach nechoshim v'akrobim, when there's lots of snakes and scorpions, lo yumatrim, they wouldn't shout and announce publicly with a shofar. Ela tzoyakim, they'd shout, they'd go from house to house and everyone know. So here it says chikuch, you don't matrim, and there it said chikuch matrim. So the Gemara lo ikashe, kan belach, kan beyovesh. When it's a disease that's liquidy, it's less bad, and then only tzoyakim. But by yovesh, that's why when matrim, where it's much worse when it's dry, this type of chickenpox. The Omar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi said, Shchin Sheiva Kodesh Baruch Hu Mitzrayim, the Makkah Shchin that we just learned about in the parashas, that Hashem brought on Mitzrayim, Lachm Bachutz, it's wet from the outside, V'yovesh Mibifnim, and dry from the inside. Shenema, because we could see it in the pasuk, V'yish Shchin avu avurois, there was Shchin avu avurois, Poreach, blossoming ba'odom u be'be'ema. So we can learn, Rashi explains, from the outside it was wet. Mashma, from the inside it was dry. V'deles anineles, we learned, V'deles anineles lo b'me'era tipotach mahi. Why is that talking about? That if your mazel's not open, it's very hard to open the mazel. Mazot shoma smicha. If you tried getting smicha for a long time and you're not matzliach, so you need to daven very hard to be matzliach, because your gates are closed. Ravashi Yoma kol ha'merin loy b'me'era metivim loy. Someone's in a bad state, not very quick will that tzlocha come. Rav Acha midifti, or Rav Acha from Difti said, Lo olam ein metivim loy. He'll never get back out of his bad situation. So the Gemara Veloy, it's not true. Rav Acha midifti milsat nafsheu do'oma. Rav Acha midifti was talking about his own experience. But really, it could open at the end. We learned that someone who buys a house in Eretz Yisrael, koisim olav oinoi. You write a contract on Shabbos, afilu b'Shabbos. B'Shabbos al kedaitoch, you can michal Shabbos, deraisa. Ela kedoma Rava also, like Rava explained over there, oimel u'nochri v'oise. You tell your goisha solicitor to write a contract, and it's only a shvus. Ochinami, also here it says, oimel u'nochri v'oise, v'afal gav damir u'nochri shvusi, it's a derabonon, mishum yishev Eretz Yisrael, to miyashev Eretz Yisrael, and to buy a piece of land in the holy land of Eretz Yisrael from a goy on Shabbos with a goisha solicitor loy gozru b'Rabbanon. Omar Rav Shmuel ben Nachmani, Omar Rav Yochanan, alokech ir b'Eretz Yisrael, someone who buys a whole city in Eretz Yisrael, koifim oiso likach lo derech ba'abaru choisel, mishum yishav Eretz Yisrael, we force him to buy the ways to the city from all four ways, because we want a person to have a city. The city in Eretz Yisrael should have access from all sides, from four sides, and if he doesn't have it, we force him to buy the ways to the city. That should be accessible and easy to travel. Everyone should have a very good Shabbos.